Yo, thank y'all for listening to the Adulthood podcast. All the listeners, we really support, man. This podcast is really growing. People are going back, listening to episode 1. We really appreciate it for the people who started from the beginning, because we're like a sitcom. Like, start from the beginning, listen to all the podcasts.
And binge.
Yeah, and binge us, baby. If you want to see me live this weekend, I'm going to be at the DC Improv in Washington, D.C., one of the best comedy clubs in the whole country. Come check me out. It's going to be a fun weekend. Then I think I'm taking a couple weeks off, but then in July, I'm back on the road. I'm in Kansas City. I'm in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And at the end of July, I'm actually going to be at the Montreal Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, because I was actually selected as one of Variety's comics to watch for 2023. So that's going to be a big deal. I'm doing a big gala out there. So if you're in Montreal, come check that out.
Put that on your B list.
Thank y'all. Yo, episode 10, baby.
That's right.
Welcome to the Adulthood podcast. I'm Ian Lara, and this is
the DJ 8 p.m.
The DJ 8 p.m.
Yes.
We're doing it. We're 10 episodes in. This
10?
is a real thing.
That's right.
10 episodes
Lucky
in.
number 10.
Still no guests.
None.
Just 2 of us and Marty McFly behind the glass.
That's right. Shout out to Marty Hive.
Somebody messaged me saying that we needed a woman's voice on the podcast. And I was like, well, we have Marty, and she agrees with everything we say. So she speaks for all the women
in the universe.
And she says that everything we say is right,
fine,
and correct.
Great.
I gotta give a shout out. Shout out to the people that came out in West Nyack at Levity Live. I actually had people coming up telling me they listened to the podcast, and it wasn't the type of people you'd expect.
What?
Some older white ladies. I was like, you listen to the podcast?
Hey man, we got a lot of reach, you know?
Yeah.
We got a lot of reach.
I wish I had their name. It was like 3 of them separately, not together. They were like 3 older white ladies, and they were just like, we love the podcast. Thank you for listening. Don't stop doing it.
That's fire. Shout out to all of y'all ladies up there in Nyack.
Yeah, West Nyack.
Shout out
to the people that and at other, like I did I was in Cincinnati last week, and people are coming out and saying that they're listening to the podcast and sending you their hellos. So we're growing, baby.
Shout out to Cincinnati, shout out to Nyack, shout out to all the adulterers.
We're
going with that, right? That's sticking.
Yeah,
right,
we're 10 episodes
maybe
in.
We'll put 2 R's on it.
Yeah, maybe.
So you don't
R&R.
get charged. Yeah. Okay.
The adulterers. But yeah, we're growing. We're doing the things. I've been on the road recently. Every weekend, baby. Come check me out.
Fire.
What were you up to this
weekend? This past weekend, I was booked and busy. I had 3 private events, and then I also was at Taj the weekend before.
Yeah.
Turning it up. Had people going crazy.
What were the private events?
The private events were a wedding after party, a wedding after party. Yeah.
What time did it start?
Which one?
The wedding after party.
The first one. So I did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday, the first after party started at 12:30. It went from 12:30 to 1:30.
Oh, just a quick hour.
Yeah, quick hour.
Let's get out of there.
Yeah, everybody's already wasted. It was just like, this is for people who still want to keep the party going.
I mean, 12:30 is pretty early. I want to keep the party going.
But
usually.
The wedding starts at 7. You know, you just did a full shift basically of drinking alcohol.
Yeah, but it's tough to call it a night at 12:30.
Yeah, like. Especially on a Friday night.
Yeah. Well, so did the bride and groom come? Because sometimes they do stuff and the bride and groom don't go.
No, they came in hot. They came in.
I always think about that in my wedding. Like, if I had a wedding, would and I plan to have a few. Would I get drunk at it? Because I feel like if I got drunk, I'd be no good.
Nah, you need to, because of, you got to say hi to so many people.
Yeah.
You have to be around so many people. You got to deal with I'm basically like a fully licensed wedding planner by this point.
Yeah.
I know how to.
I was going to say to reach out.
Yeah, basically, if you need the services, because, from entrance to what the entrees are going to be, working with the maitre d', I'm fully versed in weddingology. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You definitely want to have at least, what is it, the spritz or aperol? That's what
Aperol spritz, yeah.
You might need 3 just to get you in a good zone.
I'll do Aperol spritz all night, but sometimes I've been to weddings where I see the groom taking shots early, and I'm like, this ain't good.
I did a wedding out in
ain't good.
in Jackson Hole, Wyoming earlier this year.
Yeah, I know Jackson Hole.
Yeah, and they gave out party favors, which were flasks, and it was basically flask roulette where you didn't know what was in there, and they had whiskey, they had tequila, and they had vodka, and it was just, here's your flask, and see where the night takes you.
This is a good topic to talk about because we got to get into like wedding etiquette as an adult, because I've been to like a ton of weddings even since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was really attractive as a kid. I don't know if attractive is the right word, but that's what I call it. And people used to put me in their wedding. Like, like when I was like as like a ring bearer,
ring person just.
Yeah, people just put me in their wedding. Like, I don't even know, like some of the weddings, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just like an attractive kid for people to look at.
Okay.
You go on my page, you can see my baby pictures.
You were a wedding, you were for rent?
Yeah, my mom definitely had me doing the circuit. Like wedding season, it was borderline child labor.
Do you need a ring boy?
I was the ring boy. I was like everything. One wedding, I remember, I was like the mini groom. Like they just had like a mini groom, and I was one, and then they had a mini bride, and we just did what the groom. It was kind of weird, but it was a different time. More things were acceptable. Yeah. I don't like this whole thing at weddings when the man pretends to eat his wife out in the middle of the whole thing.
Whoa. It's not even 5 minutes an episode. What?
We're getting right into it.
The garter toss,
is that what it's called?
I think.
The thing where the guy takes the garter off your
leg in front of
everybody.
Yeah.
No, it's traumatizing.
Who's that for?
Exactly.
Why haven't we put an end to this?
It's very traumatizing, and then it's also like, dude, her family is there. You can't be showing what you're doing in private on like what's gonna happen.
I was at a wedding, and the guy comes out and just starts giving his wife a lap dance in the middle.
Was Genuine playing Pony?
And it was something like that. Yeah. And then he like goes up and starts. It's called a garter.
Yeah.
He starts pulling the garter down, and when it gets to like her mid thigh, he bites it.
Yeah.
And he starts biting it all the way down. Yeah. And I'm like, who is this for?
Not for the guests.
Why is that? Why have we normalized this in American weddings?
I don't know.
We need to start a petition.
Let's stop with the ceremony. Look, keep weddings normal. Like we don't need to see you and your husband fellation each other.
Practicing the fellation.
That's. I went to a wedding one time.
Is it appropriate?
It was actually. They were selling alcohol, which, listen, if you invite me to your wedding and you're selling alcohol on it, I'm leaving. And I'm writing a Yelp review about you and your wife.
I'm leaving. Yeah.
That's offensive. You know how expensive it is as an adult to go to a wedding?
It starts at $1,000.
Easy.
And especially if it's like a location wedding, like if you have to fly somewhere, like
fly somewhere.
Like, how cool are we? Like,
I got invited to a wedding recently where I literally looked it up, like what it was going to cost me to go. It was you had to fly somewhere. I looked it up what it was going to cost to go. Minimum $3,000 to see you get married
and practice fellation on the dance floor.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not paying that.
Watch that. Hell no.
I'm not paying that. I like what are you like? What you've been to a ton of weddings?
I've been to a ton of weddings.
Yeah, and you DJ'd a lot.
And I've DJ'd a ton of weddings.
Do you feel that you work better as a single, or are you a +1 guy?
Please give me some more context.
Like when you're there, do you rather go by yourself or you rather bring a date?
At this stage of my life, I'm coming with my partner.
Yeah, but how do you feel you operate the best?
I operate in any room, whatever the room entails, that's how I operate.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the kind of guy that won't have sex on my wedding night just be like, let's be different.
Tradition.
Yeah, let's be different.
Yeah, I feel you.
Let's be different. Let's not do it.
But
tonight.
like honestly,
because aren't you tired?
You're exhausted, especially like, this is crazy that I know like the behind the scenes, but like the bride, she's up at like 5 a.m. because she has to do makeup and hair. Then you got to take a bunch of pictures that you're probably not going to look at after like 2 years.
Yeah.
Then you have to go to the ceremony. You got to meet with everybody. Then it's after that. Then you got to do the pictures. And then it's the cocktail hour where you're taking more pictures. God. And then it's the grand entrance. And then it never goes according to plan. There's always a change. Somebody else always wants to speak.
What do you think there's more pressure to perform well in as a guy? The first time you hook up with your lady or wedding night? What do you think? What do you think is the highest pressure?
Because if wedding night, there's no pressure.
I disagree. I think if you have sex on your wedding night and it's bad, I think that sets a bad precedent for the rest of your marriage.
Depends.
I would go on a limb and say, and again, don't know anything about relationships, women or vaginas, but I will go on and say that if you have the percentages of people that had bad sex on their wedding night that end up in divorce
is
has to be high.
Pretty high.
I say over 90%. If you go back and ask them how was your wedding night, they probably had bad sex.
In all fairness, you're not even coming with your A game, bro. You're exhausted.
You're exhausted. Also, you don't want to be the guy that like is too much on the wedding night.
Yeah,
like, you're just trying to go for hours.
You're trying to like have the baby right then and there.
Yeah,
you know?
No.
I think on your wedding night.
I think wedding night is more pressure.
Do you wedding night blue chew? Like, do you have it in the tux?
You bring up a good point because it's like, do you want to be
that pressure?
Right. But also, I feel like from a woman's perspective, I don't know if she wants to be drilled, for lack of a better term, into obscurity on her wedding night, you know? Is that not the appropriate way to say it? I don't know science words.
You bring up a good point.
Yeah.
You bring up a good argument. I think we gotta put like the questionnaire. Like, I think we gotta add this to the questionnaire. We should ask the adulterers what they think.
What's more pressure, wedding night sex or first night sex? First night sex could be terrible, and I feel like you could bounce back from that. And you can bounce back from wedding sex too, but it's so much buildup on that. I'm just saying,
but wedding night sex, you already signed up. You know what's coming. Like,
but you can't just, finish right away. And then she's like, "What happened?" And you're like, "Well, you remember our relationship? I was good most of the time." I feel like there's a lot of buildup on that night, and you need to really perform.
And you got to think about it too. Like, you got to basically, if you're preparing for wedding night sex, you can't really go in at the cocktail hour because like everything is fried food.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand these men that are drinking like they're at a lacrosse after party at their wedding nights. Yeah. I'm like, you got to pace yourself.
Yeah.
I can't be doing shots. I'm going to pass out. You don't want to be the guy that passes out at your wedding. That's worse. Than the guy that vomits at his wedding.
It's funny that you bring that up. At one of the weddings that I was DJing at, I saw a bridesmaid in full bridesmaid attire, satin dress. She was having such a good time that she gets down on the floor and starts doing the worm. She does the worm.
Is she white?
She was Caucasian.
Yeah,
she does the worm and pops up into a twerk. I had never seen, that was the most advanced routine I'd ever seen in my life. Like, I'd never seen that combination happen.
That's not bad.
Simultaneously.
I don't think I've ever seen a black person doing the worm.
I've seen it.
You have?
Yeah.
I feel like most of the times I've seen it live, it's been a white person.
Yes, it's definitely been a Caucasian.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
It's funny you said that. Was she single?
I don't know. I didn't do too much
research.
Because
they say a wedding is like a good place to meet women because they're at their highest form of desperation. I've been to a couple weddings.
Have you been a +1 or
have I been a +1 to a wedding? I've been invited a couple times to be a +1. I've never been a +1. I've had +1s. I've always done the single guy at the wedding, which by the way, I shine. It's crazy. It's by myself.
Yeah.
Like it's good. Like I'm bouncing around.
Ridiculous.
I know how to mingle. I know how to play the game. I'm kissing the wife's mom on the forehead.
Are you a two-stepper?
I'm doing everything.
Do you cha-cha slide?
I play the game, man. Yeah? I'm doing everything. You might see me at the DJ booth, then I'm behind the bar making a drink. Like I'm doing all the things that you do at a wedding. But I've been to weddings like as some of my friends got married as an adult where there was definitely high sexual tension.
A lot.
Yeah, like you can feel it. People were trying to hook up.
Was this in the age of 23 to 30? Like the guests,
that prime age.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
It's very difficult at that time.
People were trying to hook up, and also I feel like it's also a wedding is your chance to show out what you can do fashionably. If you're like a style guy, this is your chance to showcase. Yeah, because when I go to a wedding, I want to look better than the bride.
Okay.
I'll do a white tux.
Are you doing makeup?
Nah.
But do you do the tux?
I do. Yeah, depending on this is the thing. You bring up a good point. When you go to these weddings, right? You gotta research the venue.
Yeah.
Because now it's now popular. Okay. I'm sure like some of Marty's friends will probably get married like this. Well, they'll get married in like Williamsburg and do it like at a pizzeria.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not look, she loved that idea. I'm not doing that. I'm not wearing the tux to Joe's Pizza in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
But I feel like here's the thing. When you get an invitation from the wedding, here's a pro tip. When you get an invitation from a friend from a wedding,
Adult Pod pro tip.
It tells you where it's gonna be. Take a look at the venue.
Google.
See what type of look the venue is.
It's on your phone.
I can eyeball a venue and tell you more or less what's the per plate rate at that venue.
And then from there, you gauge your outfit.
Not only do I gauge my outfit, I gauge what your gift is going to be.
Okay.
I
hope you're writing this down.
I hope people are writing this down because honestly,
Are we recording?
We don't even plan this. We just start talking and just
top. Okay.
Like genius shit just comes out. I don't understand why we not bigger than we are.
Well, the ones that I've been to, like, I'm curious. So, like, what your gift is going to be. The ones that I've been to have wedding websites.
With the registry?
And the website is like, it's not a gift. It's like you can donate.
See, this is the thing. This is the problem with society now because people want to do all this thing. Where I'm from, you bring cash.
Yeah.
You bring cash to the wedding.
Yes.
And there's a bag and the cash is in there.
No, but you put it in an envelope.
You got brides leaving with $40,000 in cash.
You put it in an envelope.
Yeah.
And you hand it over.
Yeah, I know brides that are leaving with $40,000 in cash. They don't even know how to spend it because the IRS is gonna.
Yeah.
They gotta hide it from the IRS. Yeah. So these are the weddings I go to.
Yeah.
But I look at a venue. If you see a venue and it's there's different venues obviously. If you're not good at like eyeballing a venue like I can, you look it up. They have ratings. If you see any type of like country club in the title, know that was expensive.
Yeah,
that was expensive.
You're pulling out
if there's a golf course within a mile of wherever somebody's getting married, that's expensive.
Out the tux.
Yeah, that's a tuxedo. That's expensive.
Yeah.
Now if you bring a +1, then I think whatever you was gonna give, you gotta. Depending on how you're doing, it depends on how you're doing. Okay. Right? It depending on how you're doing career wise. Okay. Right. Because people know what you do. Yeah. There's no career where people don't know what you make. Yeah. They have a ballpark.
They have a range. Everybody has LinkedIn and Indeed.
Right.
Yeah.
They have a ballpark. Now, if you're, in a career, let's say lawyer, attorney, finance,
you're doubling the rate.
You got to double.
You got to double the rate.
You got to double the rate because you got to think about.
Because the plate is $250 at those venues.
A $250 a plate. $300. Yes.
And then also,
you should at least pay for your plate.
You should pay for the plate, and then you got to judge the spirits. If you're getting top shelf spirits, they probably spent 100 bands on that wedding.
That's what I'm saying. But looking at the venue, I can tell if it's gonna be Sky Vodka or Clase Azul.
Yeah.
I can look at the venue and tell you that. Mm-hmm. But are you gonna drink? Is your date gonna drink? Are you gonna eat? The minimum is cover your plate. Mm-hmm. Anything you give on top of that is the gift.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you're not going to call the place up and be like, how much is a plate? You got to use you got to use your knowledge. And if you don't know, ask somebody. Hit me up. Send me a DM. DM me the venue. I'll tell you what a plate costs at that venue.
Yeah.
And depending on your relationship with the person getting married.
That's another thing. That's definitely another thing.
Then you got to add a little more on it.
Have you been the best man or have you had to give a speech at a wedding?
No, nobody ever allows me to speak. But okay.
I feel like it's coming soon.
Well, I actually got.
And do you charge? Like
I actually got asked. I actually did get asked to MC a wedding.
Okay.
I did get asked that.
Okay.
And it was for one of my best friends.
Okay.
And I wanted to do it. I was gonna do it for her for free. I have been like reached out to on the internet by randoms to MC their wedding. Which look, to all the guys who are like support my comedy, listen, I appreciate you guys reaching out, but I promise you that's not what your wife wants
at all.
I promise you your wife doesn't want some random person she doesn't know MCing her biggest day.
No, she doesn't. She definitely does.
She doesn't want that. So as much as I appreciate it, I'm always like, I've literally said, dude, you see, your wife doesn't want this. I asked them, I'm like, does your wife know who I am? They're like, no. I'm like, she does not want this.
No,
she's not going to be happy.
She's not going to be happy at all.
And like, it's not going to be. Yeah. She did, because they, in their head, they think it's going to be like Kevin Hart came out. They think she's going to be like, oh my God, you got Ian? She's not. She's going to be like, who the hell is this?
Speaking about Kevin Hart and speaking about, big shout out to everybody that's been listening to episode 1, Mercury is in retrograde.
People, that episode's still popping off.
Yeah. Our producer says that she has Kevin Hart's 3. What is it? Can you go over it, please?
I have Kevin Hart's big 3. So Kevin Hart is a Sag moon, a Virgo rising, and a Cancer sun. And we match.
How did you find this?
So there's this website that tells you, like, you can like type in like celebrities and it tells you what their big 3 is, or you can type in your birthday and it'll tell you what, like, who matches with you.
Yeah.
Johan's like nodding like, yeah, totally. I've been on this website. And so I typed in mine and I couldn't find anybody who matched with anyone that anybody had ever heard of, but I matched with Kevin Hart and I was like, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Do you think
We gotta get Kev on the show.
Do you think you could date a celebrity?
No, absolutely not.
No?
Why not?
Why not?
Because I feel like, well, you know how like what is your top trait? Like what do you value most in as like a human being?
Yeah.
Like my top 3 traits that I value most in human life is kindness, privacy, and humor, in that order.
Yeah.
So like I feel like,
What do you mean by privacy?
like people just not knowing like what you're doing or like
Yeah.
what's going on that you haven't told them.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like if
That one's hard, but kindness and humor, you can get that.
kindness and humor, yeah, but like if you're like, but if you date a celebrity to that point, then like all of a sudden like somebody would be interested in what you were doing, and that feels like being perceived as a nightmare. I don't know how you live, Ian.
Yeah.
But then again, like I don't know what tier you're.
I would say
You're
top
at.
tier.
Top
but
tier.
that's
I don't know.
what it
I
is.
don't know.
Yeah.
Are you?
It's just, yeah,
I
top
feel like
tier.
you walked in
Yeah.
and you were like, "I'm famous," and I was like, "Okay."
Somebody told me the other day I was
Nice.
somebody told me I was a B-list
B-lister?
celebrity, and
Oh,
I couldn't
man.
hold back the laughter that they thought that I even ranked
That's
in the list
crazy.
in the list of like celebrities.
Oh man.
I was like, do you know what a B-list celebrity is? Do you know how famous a B-list celebrity is? Like a B-list celebrity would be like, I think like Paul Rudd.
nah, he's an
Paul
Ant-Man,
Rudd's
right?
not
No.
a B-list celebrity.
He's
no,
not an
like,
Ant-Man?
a B-list celebrity
Ant-Man.
would be like someone who's not in Marvel. Like
Because of Ant-Man, he's not?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
of Ant-Man, he's
He's
not a
crossed
B-list.
over. He's
He's not a
definitely
B-list.
Because I thought A-list was like De Niro, DiCaprio, Tom Cruise, like that.
I
list.
feel like A-list now is like anybody who does movies, and B-list now is anybody who does Netflix.
But I feel
right?
like it's also
B-list has always been known for TV.
But
Yeah.
it's
usually on
also
TV.
very relative now too because of like TikTok and stuff. So like it depends on your demographic.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like someone who's a young person who's only like on TikTok and stuff, their favorite TikTok celebrity is A-list, and De Niro would be like, who's De Niro? Like they probably would never even heard of him. So
wouldn't.
it's like I think it's subjective now. Whereas like when we was growing up, like Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Like Beyonce, like those are perennial A-listers.
Yeah, but I thought A-list. I thought you had to be like a undoubted superstar, like a superstar, like top tier.
yeah,
I
would
love
think
Paul
that.
Rudd, but I don't think he's there.
You don't think he's top tier?
I don't think he's. I think he's great. I love him. He's one of my favorite like comedic actors, but I don't think he's like on DiCaprio's level.
Well, he
and
was
Matt Damon.
He was in Friends and Marvel, so that's why I would say A.
He was
on
almost
Friends?
ancillary in Friends.
Sure, B-list, and then we'll give C-list to everyone else. So if we're going by that ranking, like, are you like
There's D-list,
are
like
you,
reality
like,
TV show stars.
G, H? What
I think
list would you
D-list.
put yourself on?
I don't think I rank. I don't think I place.
You still shooting?
Yeah, I don't think I place on a list.
That's hilarious.
Not
but
yet.
then at the same time too, like you were saying, so like imagine being Tom Cruise. You can't go nowhere. Like you can't do nothing. You basically have to walk around with your own version of the Secret Service. You can't just like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the movies today. Like, no, you gotta have a movie theater in your house, which is pretty cool. But like, I don't know if I'd want that either. You know, not being able to do just regular stuff.
Speaking of celebrities, I gotta give a shout out to Thanasis Antetokounmpo,
Okay.
my guy from the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis's brother.
Shout out Milwaukee.
Dude, that whole family, they got like 4 players that play professional sports. I went out. I was in Milwaukee this week. I flew out there to do his podcast, and we got to hang out. We did the podcast, and then he took me to the Milwaukee Bucks training facility, and then we went out for dinner. Dude, great dude, just a good dude,
That's
just
fire.
a solid dude. It was crazy, like seeing how the other side lives. Man.
What do you
Like,
mean?
He's just like I don't want to put out his stuff out there, but like I understand, like being around that much money, I understand why women are gold diggers sometimes. Like it's
okay.
it's
They
like
justified it.
It makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if yeah, like why wouldn't you
Wow,
not want
okay.
to be in this type of environment? Like
I
why
think-
would I not?
I think you just hit on a good topic accidentally, but like what about everything that's going on with Zion? You know, did y'all talk about that a little bit? I mean, did that even happen when you was out there?
With Zion Williamson?
Yeah.
No, we didn't talk about it. We didn't we might have touched on it a little bit, but we didn't really discuss it. I mean, this dude, like, he just comes from, like, you could tell from hanging out with him, he's just like a good family dude.
Yeah.
Like just a good hearted dude. Like
Shout
he
out
didn't
to
know
Giannis.
me. He just saw the special, thought it was funny, reached out, took me to Milwaukee. We went all around. It was just
That's
he's just
fire.
like a dope ass dude. But he's like one of the good dudes
Yeah.
of the business. But like I could see why like as a woman you would be attracted to a millionaire. We would bro chilling. It was like a, but I was like, yeah, I could see. Yeah,
I understand it.
Yeah,
you understand it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. Like as a lady, I could see why you would prefer this rather than being on the train. This is very comfortable and very nice.
Okay.
And like it's just
you're having a good time.
Yeah, I was like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Can I say that as a man? Can I say that? I was this is fun.
You enjoyed yourself.
I was like, this is fun. This is a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
I could dig it.
It's I feel like a lot of people who judge these women never had the opportunity.
That's probably
to sit in a brand
honestly
new Rolls Royce.
Honestly, that's what it is.
If you never sat in a Rolls Royce, stop judging women.
Don't judge them.
Stop judging gold digging women.
Honestly, I think that's exactly what it is. They've never had that opportunity before to see that other side.
Yeah.
So that's where they come from with all that spite and that hate and that venom inside of their heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys who get upset at it, including myself, are guys with no money. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But I will say, listen, this is why it made me realize this is why, like, when you get money, it needs to happen progressively.
It can't happen all at once.
Overnight is just too much to deal with.
You'll go crazy.
Like, it was too much to deal with. I mean, I would just lose my mind. And obviously, like, he's just such a humble dude that, like, he's just good. But, like, I'm like, if this was me, I would just be losing my mind. Like,
and then you, at, like, a certain age point, too, like, imagine coming into X amount of money at 22, 23, 25.
And you've been poor your whole life.
And now you just have access to $100 million, and then there's no such thing as no. It's just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we were literally, like, just having a conversation about something about, I think it was just about Dominican Republic. And then he was like, yo, he's called his agent. He's like, yo, find out how much is to get the jet to go to Dominican Republic tonight. And I was like, wow.
There's no.
Yeah, I was like, I get it. Listen, I get it.
Did you like?
Do you
want to
be
a passport?
Do you want to wait? I didn't have it. He's like, we would pick it up in New York. I didn't have it. He's like, we would pick it up in New York. We make a layover. Listen,
crazy.
As a lady, do you want to be flying Delta, Glass Row, and Comfort Plus with me, or do you want a private jet to take you? I understand.
It puts a lot of things. It puts a lot of things into perspective. Right?
I don't judge you.
It puts a lot of things into perspective.
Marty, what would you like? You don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't care.
Between flying, I have a really annoying answer.
No kidding. No way. I don't believe it.
I would rather fly commercial because it's better for the environment.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Here we go with the environmental talk. Now I'm gonna have the environment people coming after me.
I'm not lying. Like, I'm not lying.
Now, have you ever been in a private jet?
I've been in a 4-seater plane.
That's not
a private jet.
No, it's not. So I'll say no. But no, I've never been in a private jet. But
like
I've been
in
a very
Alaska,
small
like
plane.
flying.
Yeah, like I've been in I've been in like smaller planes. And I've been in 4-seater planes where I'm the only person in the plane.
And
I was on a big flight.
Pilot?
During the pandemic, I was on a whole plane while I was the only person in the plane.
The only person on the plane.
And the whole flight,
private jet.
In the whole flight, it was just me. It was a 100-seater flight, and it was just me. And the guy was like, "Sit wherever you want," and I sat in different seats. Like he would come out, and I would be sitting in a different seat. Every time he come out, he would just start laughing.
How long was the flight?
It was like 2 hours. It was like a quick jump, but I would just be in different. Like I was in the first seat, and then he went in, and then he came back, and I was like in another seat. He was like looking for me. But yeah, man, it's like flying private is different.
It's different. It's a different ballgame.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, listen, everybody pretend. You got the whole thing is like pretending. Like even like I don't think you're pretending, but like I feel like if you had to get somewhere and they were like, well, you could just take the jet, you would be like, all right, but just don't show anybody. How did this happen?
There you go. I have a question though. So like, what about when you find yourself in those instances where, you're basically competing in the same venue against people with access to private jets? Because I actually have a story of that, like similar to that, where this is a few years back. It's actually a funny story now that I think about the whole story, where it was draft night. And one of my homegirls, she was in town and for her birthday, and she came in town with her friends. And this is when what's it? Up and Down was still open. It was still popping, one of the biggest clubs in the city. And she was just like, yeah, you know, I'm going out for my birthday. Me and my friends, you should come out. And I think it was a Thursday night, and it was the NBA draft night. I remember for sure. And I'm like, all right. So like automatically I got to go in a calculation mode. I'm like, all right. So like they're going to probably be charging like $200 at the door, because basically all of the teams after the draft, that's where they were going for the after party. And I'm like, okay, I've never seen bigger bottles of champagne be purchased before. Like, you know, like the mega gallons, like this is what was going on in there tonight. I'm just like, okay, I'm in the Wolves den. I got to just make sure I'm on my A game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because like basically one false move and she's probably going to be on a private jet to DR. So I just got to make sure that, you know, I'm just playing it cool, calm and collected. And I also had to go against some resistance where her friend was just like, why are you hanging out with him? Girl, it's NBA players in here tonight. And I'm just like, you know.
In all fairness,
you
could be an NBA player.
That is true, too.
Other than the fact that you have no natural skill or money. But
I wouldn't go that far.
Just about how you look, you could be in the NBA.
I wouldn't go that far. But definitely from like bank account stand-wise,
you could be?
I couldn't be. No, I could not be. Yeah.
I was going to say.
Especially at that time.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Especially at that time. So I just had to handle my own. Yeah. So, of course, but the thing is, too, is just like, you got to work your leverage. You got to work.
But the good thing about draft night is no one knows.
No one knows.
Because they're all college players. So no one knows who's who.
No, but also you had like the GMs from the team. Yeah. You had like.
I'm saying, when I say no one, I meant the girls.
Oh, yeah. No, the girls know. But that's the thing. They know. They have a full scouting report. Yeah, they know what's going on. Damn. So I'm like, all right, I got to just make sure I'm on my A game. You know, just the one-liners is hitting. Yeah. The drinks is flowing. The dance moves, whatever. So. Then she was just like, hey, you know, we want to go somewhere else. Do you know somewhere else we can go to? I'm like, all right, cool. So now to pull my sort of flex, I'm going to order the Uber. I ordered the Uber XL. Ooh. It was payday.
It was probably surging that night.
I had to do it. You know, sometimes when you gotta just.
I've been there.
You gotta calculate what was going to happen that night.
I called the Uber XL one time and they sent me a Toyota RAV4. I have no luck. I swear I have no luck.
Bro, they sent me a Highlander.
Oh my God.
I'm like, all right, it had the third
one thing, you did one thing, like you just had to just send a Suburban or Escalade.
Yeah, but nope, a Highlander. So now it's her homegirl. She had met some dude and like basically all of us, we're going to the next spot. I think we wanted food or something like that. Yeah. We ended up going to a strip club. Yeah. And this is where the story takes an interesting left turn. Yeah. Because you know the song Girls is Players Too? Mm-hmm. This was basically like the prerequisite of that song, because her homegirl's in the back seat with the dude that she met in the club. We're all on our way in the Uber XL that I ordered, to the next spot. And then all of a sudden, all you hear is like, you know, deep moaning. It's just like, what
deep moaning.
What the hell is going on in the back of that in the back of that Highlander? So and the next thing you know, all you hear is, eat my pussy, eat my pussy. Yeah. Doesn't it taste good? Doesn't it taste good?
Is this on the radio or this live?
No, this is live. Okay. In the back seat of the car. So basically, she forced the dude to perform cunnilingus on her. I've never had that happen before, where like I've had to overhear.
Good thing you had the Highlander. I don't think in the RAV4.
I was in the middle row, but
still. Yeah. In crazy. The RAV4, we wouldn't have fit.
That wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, this is like. Here's the thing with me.
Talk to me.
I don't sell. I'm lucky in the career that I do. Like I do comedy, right? Yes. So I don't sell money. Okay. I sell broke and funny. Okay. So that's all I have to be.
That's a t-shirt.
It's just broke and funny. And girls be like, yeah, but he's funny. And I'm like, I have that cheat card. I don't like athletes, like rappers. They have to compete with each other. Yeah. If anything, I go under. You order an Uber XL, I'm ordering Uber Eats and asking them for get on the pegs or the bike to leave. Yeah. to show how poor I am. Yeah. And they're like, oh, this guy's attractive and humble. Yeah. And they feel like they could think. I'm lucky about that.
That's your lane.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when you do comedy, it's lucky because you don't have to compete. Like as like rappers do it and NBA players. Yeah. Which is nice. It's funny you bring up that thing about the Uber in the back with the moaning, because one time I had like a similar situation where I had a friend with a girl in the back in the Uber and I heard moaning, but it was guy moaning. It was a guy moaning, and I'm like, why are you moaning?
Yeah.
And I look back, and it wasn't even what you thought. She was just kissing him on his neck, and he was just moaning. I was like, all right, I need to get out of this because this is unacceptable.
Oh man, okay.
The guy moaning is unacceptable.
Definitely.
Back to the wedding thing. I feel like we didn't finish.
Okay,
the wedding thing. Now, when you go to weddings, are you a dancer? Do you dance?
Oh, you gotta dance.
You gotta dance.
You have
to
dance.
To the guys who don't
dance,
like just stay home. To be honest,
you definitely have to dance.
Even if you're not a good dancer, there's things you can do. There's moves you can learn.
Are you a line dancer? Like, are you cha-cha sliding? Are you doing the electric slide?
I am a line. I will do the line dances after 10:45 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before that, I don't do it.
You don't do it.
No.
Now, how many aperol spritzes are you in before you jump into the line dance?
Well, if it's not my wedding, I'm drinking tequila. Yeah, I'm drinking tequila.
Go. Okay.
I'm full in.
Yeah.
At my wedding, because like I'm a good time.
Yeah.
And now, like when you invite me to your wedding, like you could get a B-list celebrity at your wedding. By inviting me.
I thought Marty said C or D. She went down. She went further down.
Oh
yeah.
I
didn't think
you could get a list celebrity. So it's like it's like
at least something.
Yeah, like you might get paparazzi I thought it was paparazzi at a wedding time, but it was just a photographer that he hired.
Okay.
But I feel like you invite me, you get like a novelty at your wedding.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like I have an image to uphold. Like I know it's your wedding and you getting married, but like I feel like people are looking at me.
You're here.
Yeah. So I don't like to draw too much attention.
Okay.
So I'll be like, just sit me like next to the bride.
So that's why you can't jump in on the line dances.
That's after 10:45.
Yeah, you're gonna steal all the attention.
Right. After 10:45, everyone is even.
It makes sense.
Because that's the thing about a wedding.
It makes sense.
After 10:45, it's even.
Yeah.
It's like all the things is out the window.
Yeah.
The husband, he already did the go down on the wife thing.
Yeah.
The group of guys, the dance they came up with, they already did that nonsense.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
It's horrible.
These videos where these guys prepared 15-minute
routines,
choreographed routines
like Janet Jackson
for their friends' weddings. Who are these friends? I couldn't get any of my friends to do any of this.
And when did you have the time?
To learn this 15-step routine at your friend's wedding.
There's a dance studio somewhere. I don't know where it is, but there's a dance studio somewhere in the Midwest that
caters to that?
specializes in teaching men
how to dance and then practicing
how to do line dances for their bros' wedding.
Yeah.
This is insane. But after all that's out
phenomenon.
The window, at a wedding, there's a lot of start and stop. It's hard to build momentum. The momentum happens from like 11 p.m. to like 1:30 a.m.
That's what it is.
Because after that, there's like a full sprint to the finish line.
Yeah.
But before that, you get going. Like if you're trying to talk to a girl, you get going, and then they'll sit you down. So the person's dad can make a speech about how beautiful it is to give his daughter away, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, can't you just email her this?
It's definitely a lot of start and stop.
Yeah, but after 11,
it's go time.
It's full thing.
Yeah.
Don't get too drunk at a wedding though. Don't be that guy. That's embarrassing. You're gonna ruin somebody's wedding. Don't do it.
If you do, know when you have to make your exit.
Cause see, that's the kind of person I am. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I haven't been a completely drunk, embarrassing fool ever in my life. But every time that I feel like I handled it like a gentleman.
Okay, please expound.
Only one time I passed out in my friend's living room and ended up naked in his bathtub. But I was 22.
I don't know about you.
What do you mean?
I'm feeling 22.
Yeah. For sure, yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was
was this in college or right after college?
It was right after college, yeah. But in my defense,
did somebody roofie you?
I might have been roofied. I'm gonna be honest. I might have been. But I in my defense, I told my boys, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go hard tonight. So it's
so
on
you
y'all.
knew it.
So I was like, it's on y'all. Yeah, I knew. I gave him a warning. And I'm never that guy.
But what was the catalyst of the I'm going hard tonight?
It was the summer after college.
So it was just like,
and I was working. No, it was the summer between junior and senior year, and I was working so much that I hadn't had a chance to go out like all summer.
Okay.
And this was like my friend's big barbecue that he did every summer, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go hard.
But you know what that proves? That you're a man of your word.
That's what I'm saying.
That's because like I've had those instances too where it's just like, no, tonight I'm going for it.
Yeah, look, did I vomit all over my friend's living room in front of everybody? Absolutely. Yes. But did I do it like a gentleman? Yes. That's the difference.
Yes.
What are you saying?
Spirit fingers.
Oh, the spirit fingers. I always think she's giving me the finger.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to know how to do things.
You definitely do.
Because some people are just like.
Some people don't know how to get drunk and belligerently drunk respectfully. You know?
Yes.
I don't know if those two work. I think those are like parallels or like they're conflicting ideologies, but sometimes you can get belligerently drunk and be respectful.
Yeah, exactly. You bring up a great point, because I feel like a lot of people aren't doing this. They think it's like one or the other.
You know what? Because they didn't have the Adulthood pod to teach them. Ladies and gentlemen, big shout out to all the adulterers out there. We appreciate you.
And I'll say this, because a lot of people are walking around with false identities, thinking that there's somebody who they're not. Before you go out and say, oh, I'm this type of drunk, ask your friends
what type of
person you are you when you're inebriated.
Yes.
And trust what they say, and then they know.
But there's also a scale, like there's a range, like, okay, like 1 to 5, 5 to 10, then you drink the whole bottle, and then like know your different levels.
Yes.
You know?
I think that's very important as an adult.
What type of drunk are you?
Me?
Yes.
I mean, I think I'm even better. I think I'm just cool, man. I just like, it's just impossible for me not to be cool. Like I've tried. I drink, like, if everybody, like I have people who I've grown up with, who I literally like have partied with, who say they never saw me drunk, but they have. It's just, I'm so collected.
There you go.
That I can't be. But because here's the thing about drunk. Drunk is a spectrum, right?
That's a t-shirt.
There's no,
if I ever heard
there's
of
no
one.
like thing.
Drunk is a spectrum.
It's fluid too. Like it depends.
It's non-binary.
Right, exactly. No gender. And I would say
drunk is genderless.
I would say this.
Yeah,
I've had a couple drinks.
That's right. We're hitting
drunk
right
is
now.
genderless.
Yeah.
So
it's Pride Month, right?
There you go.
Shit.
Let's make rainbow drunk is genderless shirts. But we would sell out at the parade.
We need a sponsor.
If we did that at the parade, I'm telling you, we would sell out.
Oh, we hit it. We're hitting.
Being drunk is genderless in parade colors.
Yep.
LGBTQ.
We need a sponsor.
George
Clooney.
You know when you had like a couple drinks and you feel nice, but you lean into it, but you're good.
Yeah.
But you're leaning into it.
Yeah.
And then some people be like, oh, you're drunk. And then that get you tight.
Yeah.
Then you get upset. You're like, you killed my whole thing. I'm going home.
I'm not drunk. I'm just having a good time.
Yeah, I'm leaning into I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Don't be that person.
Don't be that person at all.
That kills the buzz.
Yeah.
You seem like a buzzkill, Marty. Do you drink? Do you drink?
Rarely, and I'm not a buzzkill. Yes, and multiple people have told me that. No, I sing when I'm drunk, so I can't drink.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
No,
that's not bad.
It's not. But like, I can't drink like here.
What's your go-to song?
If you guys are.
Remember we took like half a shot, and you were like,
"Woo,
party!" I'm like, Marty, we gotta do a podcast.
I was humming, and Will was like,
you took half a shot and you were like, let's party. Forget the podcast, trying to trash the studio.
No, I didn't. I said one funny thing and you were like, Marty's drunk. Clearly, she's just never a hoot and a half sober.
Wait, so you didn't you get drunk and steal your girlfriend's cat?
I wasn't drunk. That was sober.
That was sober.
That was sober.
Okay. So it's fine.
She was drunk.
She was doing some things.
She was high. She was
doing some things.
Yeah.
No,
She was going skiing.
I sing.
Yeah.
I sing.
You're a ski.
I sing.
Are you a karaoke
singer
person?
No, I'm just a sing wherever I am. Like
do you make up songs on the spot, or you go into the catalog? Do you have a go-to?
I really like typing into ChatGPT on my phone to tell it to write me poetry.
Really?
Is ChatGPT an app
when you're drunk,
or is it a website?
It's a website.
It's an
app.
Yeah,
I think it does. It have an app?
They launched the app too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need to
have
download.
you used it?
I need to download the app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know. I don't drink often enough to answer this question. I think I maybe drink maybe once every 3 months.
That's a lot. I think you have a problem.
Once a quarter?
No, what do you remember the last time you were like too drunk?
No, the last time I was too drunk to do anything. I remember the last time I was too high to do anything, and then that was like.
Please expound.
Like the last time I was too high to do anything. Well, I took edibles, and I my Uber rating is but I took.
You got a bad Uber rating? You know how hard it is to get a bad Uber rating as a white woman?
Oh, that makes me feel very special. Thank you, Ian. I took edibles and I called an Uber to take me home, and they took us through the tunnel to go back to Brooklyn, and I leaned forward, I remember, and I whispered in the guy's ear because I was really high, and
you sexually harassed him.
I whispered in his ear. I was like, it's like we're getting birthed. haven't recovered.
Okay, look, I'm gonna start doing this regardless of being high. If I'm ever in an Uber going through the tunnel, I'm gonna whisper into the driver's ear, it's like we're giving birth, like we're going through the canal.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm more aware.
Did he give you a 1 star for that?
He gave me a bad rating for it and some choice words.
No.
But he didn't let me out of the car. So kudos to him, because I could see him thinking about it when we got out of the tunnel, and there was like a spot on the highway where he could pull off, and I was like, oh shit, I'm way too high to get home.
So it's like we're giving birth. You have a wild side.
That's crazy. But my thing is, so was it like just a brownie, or was it like, did somebody make it? Because edibles are a different animal.
It was like chocolate. And on the one hand, like I knew there was drugs in it. But on the other hand, it was chocolate. So I was like, I think I disassociated from the idea that there were drugs in the chocolate until I'd eaten half of the chocolate. And then like we were at the Container Store and I was like, wow, I'm dying.
Oh no.
I was like, this is whatever. So I got in an Uber and then
you went home.
And I think I was like really close to his ear too. Like I think I was like to the point where he could hear feel my breath, and it was just like, and I whispered it.
That's pretty funny. That's not bad.
So it's like, I'm aware now, I'm self-aware.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I took an edible in Arkansas?
No.
Yeah, I'm not a weed guy. I feel like I don't know how to do it. I tried to be that person, but I just feel like it just didn't work out for me.
That might be some great content. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was in Arkansas, and I had after my last show Saturday, I had an early flight. I had like a 5 a.m. flight the next morning, Sunday morning, and I didn't have any. Normally I take like a melatonin, so I'm trying to get to sleep. I didn't have any melatonin, and I was talking to the host, and he was like a big guy. He was like, like your height.
You can't trust us.
Maybe bigger, yeah. And he was
when
like,
it comes to those.
Yeah,
things.
he was like, oh, I take these little tinker, like a tincture, whatever. Yeah, he was like, I just put one of these drops under your tongue, and you'll knock right out. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I don't do weed. He's like, yeah, you'll be. I'm like, are you sure? You're like a big dude. He's like, yeah, nah, you'll be cool. You'll be cool. And then I took the thing, and then I'm cool. I ordered some food. My driver took me back to the hotel. I'm at the hotel. I ate the food. I'm getting high. I'm cool. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get to bed. I lay in bed, and the room starts violently spinning. Violently. This was like during COVID, like when we were just coming out of COVID. I don't know why. Like I get into my head that I forgot how to breathe. I'm like, I don't know how to breathe. So I'm like holding my breath, and I'm like, I don't know how to breathe. I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to the emergency room.
Oh no.
And I'm like, but they don't have ventilators. Like it's cause it's COVID. I'm like, I need a ventilator, and they don't have ventilator.
Man.
I'm like about to call the front desk. I'm pacing back and forth in my room, panicking. I'm like about to call the front desk to try to get a ventilator, because I think I forgot how to breathe. And I remember, I didn't even have the guy's number. I remember his name. I somehow managed to get my phone and find his name on Facebook, and I Facebook call him, and I'm like on the other side. This is a guy I just met.
Facebook call is nasty.
This is a guy I just met. I'm like,
that's
crazy. Why would you do this to me? I'm like, what did I ever do to hurt you? Like, I'm like being sincere. I'm like, how did I ever hurt you? This is not good. I'm not good. Why did you do this to me? And he talked to me for 2.5 hours.
To calm me down.
To calm me down. Like the next day, I had a 2.5 hour call with a guy I had just met that night. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I did get this podcast started.
There you go.
So it is a win. This is our 10th episode, baby.
10. Milestone.
Again, thank y'all for listening to the Adulthood podcast.
Yes.
Remember, all advice is bad advice. Don't listen to us. Just listen to the podcast.
Show. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys to everybody who's been supporting. Continue to spread the word. If you haven't done so already and you're listening on like iTunes or iHeart, whatever, go give us a 5-star review. Let us climb the charts. That's how you get up in that algorithm. Give us a 5-star review. Tell your friends to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their aunts to listen to us.
Yeah.
We're big in the aunt community.
That real big.
Huge in the aunt community.
Shout out to Nyack. Right?
Yeah. Shout out to West Nyack. Shout out to everybody that's been coming out. Okay, the Juneteenth weekend, I'm going to be in Washington, D.C.
Shout out to
this
DC.
Is one of I really want to plug this because this is one of my favorite places. I'm going to be at the D.C. Improv in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Make sure you guys come out and check me out. That's one of the best comedy clubs in the country, and it's going to be a good time. I'm there Thursday to Sunday at the D.C. Improv, Washington, D.C. Come check me out.
That's fine.
You got anything?
I'm actually off the weekend of Juneteenth, but you know, once again, big shout out to the whole Adulthood, the whole Adulthood pod, everybody that's been listening. I actually got a message. Someone was saying that they was having a bad day and they cut on the pod and, you know, we made them laugh. So, you know, shout out to all the Adulthooders out there. Yeah. You know, but the thing is, we're just a couple of Z-list celebrities. Yeah. And we're trying to climb higher. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And like, let's at least once we go from Z, we can go to, you know, maybe get to J and then eventually climb up.
We'll build our way up. We'll be back next week. We've been going 10 weeks strong. It still keep going. People been asking us about guests. Maybe we'll have a guest. Maybe we won't. I think we're killing it. Me, you, and Marty McFly.
Shout out to the Marty Hive.
Yeah, shout out to the Marty Hive. Marty has fans. She doesn't even, first of all, to her fans, I just want y'all to know that she doesn't want y'all. Marty wants privacy. She doesn't want you guys to support her at all.
No, don't support her.
She wants no support at all.
Leave her alone.
Yeah, please leave her alone. Adulthood podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, drunk is genderless.
Yes. Hold on, don't steal that from us either. We got to trademark that. Any lawyers out there?
Call in.
Yeah.
Later.